Greetings, fellow conquerors, and welcome back to Byzantium here in EU4, where we're currently looking to expand into Crimea after defeating this large coalition of Middle Easterners against us. We still don't know much about the Middle East, but we're going to expand into it, and as a matter of fact, we're working on getting enough opinion with our vassal Jandar, in order to get them to be annexed. In the meantime, we can also consider pursuing war with the Venetians in 3 years, when Austria would be able to, would be willing to join us in another offensive war. Let's see. We are on Tech 12. In a year, I think it would be, good to have some more artillery in our army. However, we do already have quite a large army. Let's see. Muscovy no longer considers us a rival. Well, that's nice. In fact, they would actually be quite friendly towards us if we weren't their rival. Which would be fine with me, minus the fact that their military tech is starting to lag behind because they haven't embraced 2 institutions now, which is obviously problematic. Alright. Let's see, let's get this transport fleet over here. Let's just do the automatic transportation to, let's see, what are we calling this? Tamatarha. Definitely sounds like Greco-Roman. Ooh, 10 admin points and 48.57 ducats in order to get +1 yearly prestige. Make it happen. Give me that prestige. We're only losing 1 prestige per year, too. It's pretty impressive stuff. It does look like the Crimeans are on the same tech level as us, but their ally, the, Kazani people, are not. Which means that this should be a fairly easy war to pursue. I think we should be able to do it with just this single stack of units. Theodoro has declared war on the Ottomans. Watch as they fight an epic pitched battle with the Ottomans' 5-fire general. Holy cow. But the Theodorians were able to win anyway. Which is going to be a shame, because we're going to end up taking Theodoro over, but... yeah, we're at a point where we're close to where nobody can stop us from expanding, especially depending on the part of the world that we're in. Our Inquisitor has died. Well, this is unfortunate, because we haven't unlocked the restoration of the Ecumenical Patriarch yet, which we would really like to have in order to, get that +3% missionary strength permanently. But that's partially okay, because our current income is kind of insane, as which is why we were able to afford that advisor in the first place. Let's start training some artillery here. We'll maintain some of these forts, just to stop the Crimeans from doing anything too cheeky. We're still transporting the last 2 troops. Let's see, we do have to worry about Ottoman separatists. 17k of them, and where would they spawn exactly? In Ichel? No idea yet either on this one. We'll have them stay here in the fort, since that way the rebels can't just, take over immediately. But anyway, yes, we do want to kind of start expanding our army to include more artillery. And the reason we want to do that is because artillery is becoming more and more important. We have no overextension. However, these rebels are going to cost us a bit of manpower, if I'm not mistaken. At the same time, let's declare this war. Let's see. We apparently have no Casus Belli with them yet, except that now we do. What's this? Byzantium suddenly has a claim on Kuban. Where did that come from? Weird, right? Sure would be a shame if something were to happen. My liege! The Byzantines are attacking! What? I thought the Byzantines were dead! No! They're alive! They're coming for us! My god. What happened? It's the player, sir. He's doing it. Looks like the Crimean army is only about 10,000 people, so it's going to be a pretty easy war. We mainly need to find their capital and occupy it. I think it's Mansour here is their current capital. Going to be a pretty easy land grab here. The real question is how many points do we want to spend? We'll begin the siege. Our Commandant has died, which is unfortunate. I believe he was a skill 1, which is fine. It's just that I really like that discipline modifier. Let's get this national manpower modifier guy. I believe that that's going to improve the rate at which our manpower recovers, so that's quite nice. Let's get the spy network construction speed. Don't really need to build a spy network here in Crimea. I will, however, build one on Venice, because first of all, we forgot to take Corfu forever ago, but we'll grab it this time. And once 1558 rolls around and we can call in Austria and Hungary to defeat the Venetians for us, I think we're going to be in a great position. See, we're going to train more artillery. We want to get 4 artillery so we can actually get that, that siege bonus. Oh, looks like this is, since it's a capital fort only, every artillery is going to increase the siege speed, so we absolutely want them. Plus, when we tech up again, that's going to be extremely important for us to actually, you know, get that extra fire out of them. Alright, let's keep converting. Ottoman separatists are about to fire. Alright, we do have our Ottoman separatists here. There's only 12,000 of them. However, they are currently in the hills with a 5-4 general, so this is going to be a pretty ugly battle. Not looking forward to it, especially since our cavalry can't actually flank. See how we do. Ooh, yeah, looking pretty brutal. Alright, looks like we lost 4,000 infantry, killed 6,000 of them. However, they're rebels, so infinite manpower and such. Possible advisors +1. Hey, maybe we can get a commandant again. Maybe not. However, Jacoba Tome would be a great great advisor here. Get this get the admin points and get a tax modifier. Like we have 18 ducats a month that we make. You know, almost 19 actually. I don't think that's including her. So like, actually, what's our base tax income? It's like 20 apparently. Or maybe that's after. Anyway, point is, she's probably paying for herself. Yeah, so we're making a ducat more per month. I don't think that's necessarily paying for itself. However, it is pretty nice. All right, let's see what kind of how much land we can take here. We don't want to take too much because, you know, obviously the coalition is very real still. Though we could probably crush this entire one if we wanted to, honestly. That being said, you know, 143 to core all this. I'm pretty fine with that. Any important centers of trade we're potentially missing out on? Nope. We are getting Azov, which is good, because that's going to funnel into Constantinople, which is going to help us out. Alright. Give me the land. Crimea accepted our generous peace offer. Oh, of course they did. Our corruption is growing. We expected this. Alright, we're going to make an additional 3 artillery for the Tema Thessaloniki. Or Thessalonikis. Actually, we can only afford to build... Yeah, we'll build 3. 3 is what I meant. Okay. Alright, grab a little bit more land. And we're looking to attack the Venetians soon as well. In 1558, our timer will have expired with the Austrians, which means that they would be happy to join us in a war against the Venetians. The French, I don't think, are willing to join because they're friendly towards the Venetians. Also, France is in debt. Who's he fighting? Looks like he just got done with the war with Burgundy. Theodoro wants access, sure. In fact, we should actually start fabricating a claim on Theodoro here. They do have the Komnenos dynasty, which is the same one as Trebizond. However, the Theodorians are Orthodox like us, so they might actually make for a decent vassal. However, all this land over here is Sunni, so the answer is actually probably not on that one. But let's go ahead and pick up the next military tech level. We get better cannons with better pips and better fire modifiers. Let's get the... The small cast iron cannon is going to do more morale damage, and I'm a bigger fan of that, I think, at this stage in the game than the actual fire damage. Especially given that our leaders typically still have more shock at the moment. But we do have 4 cannons in each army, which means if we combine into like a mega stack, well, actually, currently we could support a back line of 27 artillery, if you can even imagine that. Like, that is just so many troops. But it's also why I'm going to keep building like more artillery so that we can get more efficient unit stacks, as it were, even though they are more expensive. I mean, we're rich, so we could spend 100 ducats, or we could get +4 unrest and local goods produced reduction in Thessaly for like a couple years. So Thessaly would lose a decent chunk of income for sure. Their unrest, however, is currently negative 11.9, so they're not exactly going to revolt. I mean, I can't imagine this is going to affect our production by too much. Yeah, we're losing like 0.14 ducats a month for 5 years, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I'm not really like torn up about it. Got some more artillery building, which is good. We can actually, we're getting close to being able to fabricate a claim on Venice. I know Serbia has a claim on Ragusa. However, we want to recover Dalmatia and Corfu in this next war. I don't think we can get up as far as Istria, though we would like to if we could. It would all depend on whether or not we could core it. And Dalmatia may be the key to doing that, like Ragusa and Dalmatia. So, we'll see what happens. Yep, let's fabricate on... we can't actually fabricate on Dalmatia, so we'll want to take Ragusa and Dalmatia for ourselves in this coming war. It is 1558. Time flies. We currently have no diplomats to send. However, Jandar, is at the proper amount of opinion for us to start annexing them. So they're going to cost 570 diplo power, which is like, you know, full tech level. But I think this is worth it so that we can actually start expanding ourselves in this direction and start, you know, converting them to a different faith. Serbia actually has a decent chunk of Liberty Desire right now, but it's like 11%. I say a decent chunk, but what I mean is something else entirely. We can stop building a spy network in Venice, which is the diplomat we'll use also to declare the war in and of itself. Now we have to fight Genoa, the Knights, and Great Britain. The Knights are a non-issue. Great Britain might be an issue. I can't imagine that they would be like too big of a problem, though. I mean, let's look at their army. They've got an army of 30,000 with a force limit of 42,000, so I don't really see them being like that big of a deal compared to Austria's, you know, much higher number of troops. So let's see. How's our opinion with our allies? Still pretty good. Still pretty good. When would Austria be willing to join again? November 10th of this year. Okay, well, we'll wait till then. Hope they don't start any offensive wars, and we'll go to war with Venice. Does Austria have any claims? They have one claim on Venice, on Treviso, and we may have to give that claim to them. Crossing my fingers not. Now, hopefully, with Dalmatia, we'll be able to fabricate a claim on the Papal State, which will allow us to finally get into Italy and potentially go for Rome as well. I don't know if Byzantium takes the normal penalty for taking over Rome, though it would be really, really nice to have that, you know, to have that as a province, obviously. Let's spend diplo power instead of losing trade power. Now, one of our merchants here could probably, yeah, so, let's see, the merchant in Alexandria is only, you know, transferring 0.75 to Constantinople here. We could actually transfer trade power in Crimea, and that should get us a lot more ducats out of trading there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1.32 instead of, you know, 0.75, which is going to improve our trade income. Our trade income is still not great. People say it's just as easy as like transferring trade power and then collecting in a node, but it doesn't seem to really be that way. I mean, obviously that's how it works, but it's not like the crazy gold mine of money we were hoping for. I think some people are actually transferring out of... yeah, some people are actually using Constantinople to get money out of the node, like further upstream, but that's not really in our control at the moment. Alright, we're in September. Once we get to November, we can declare the war. We should probably get our army in position, yeah? We do have to worry about these Ramazani separatists here in Adana. I am worried about them, but they can wait. We're maintaining our forts, so... We are, you know, remember, we are still paying 6.66 ducats a month for this statesman. So our economy is really good. It's just that we're paying a lot of money for monarch points, basically. Alright, it is January this year. Let us get ready to declare war. Austria and Hungary would join. Does Hungary have any claims? Nope, he doesn't have any claims he'd like to press, so... He should give us some of Venice's land. That being said, we'll definitely want to go for Ragusa and Dalmatia as fast as possible. We really want those provinces. But I think we're gonna. This is going to be like a landslide. Not really worried about this war. Let us declare for Ragusa. And with that, I'm going to end the episode. So I'll join you next time, where we are going to fight a war against Venice. And I'll see you guys there on the next one.